Yes, party people, what are you saying? Martin G with Groove Conversations. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, and you know what? I thought I'll throw my hat into the ring when it comes to this vinyl tag thing. Yeah, Vinyl Tag 2025. It was put out by Pretty Green Vinyl, so big up to him. But it was man like 6-inch Pianist 319 who I saw that done this, yeah? So you know what? I'm going to do my thing, yeah? But before I start, yeah, if you like what you're seeing, click like, subscribe, get on down with the Groove Conversations with man like Martin G, and let me know what you think. Share. Let me know what you think in the comments, yeah, what you think of my selections, yeah, whether you agree with them, whether you don't. But you know what? It's all fun, yeah, you know what I mean? So it's all our own opinions. So you know what, man? 20 questions, all revolved around records. So you know what? Here's my take, yeah? So let's start it off like this, yeah? So the first question is, best purchase of 2024. So that's easy for me to tell you, yeah? That's this, The Impossible's Hot Pepper, yeah? So, this record here, yeah, like, so, I went out to Thailand. Last couple of years, I've been lucky enough to travel to a few places, yeah? And whenever I travel somewhere, I like to try and get what I call local produce, yeah? So, I went out to Thailand, I was in Chiang Mai, I went into a record shop there, and like, I picked up this album. This album, yeah, right, is funky as funk, yeah, right? And you know what? On the back, like, I'm a sucker for cover versions, yeah, right? And you'll see on the back, you've got a couple of Kool and the Gang versions on there. Give It Up and Love the Life You Live. So this, best purchase of 2024, The Impossible's Hot Pepper. That's hands down, yeah? Right. So, the next record, yeah, is Show an LP from 50 years. So you know what? 50 years from the before was 1974. Easy one for me. Sweet Exorcist by Curtis Mayfield. Listen, the late great Curtis Mayfield. Now I think this guy, yeah, when it comes to his sweet, silky, smooth, soulful voice, yeah, he's one of the best, man. There's no doubt about it, yeah. And this album as well, man, this has got beautiful tracks on here, such as Power to the People, Kung Fu as well, and Sweet Exorcist is another beautiful track. So, a track from 50, or LP, sorry, from 50 years later, Sweet Exorcist, Curtis Mayfield. But you know what? There were so many things I could have picked, yeah, but you know what, Curtis Mayfield, I can't go wrong with that, yeah? Right, okay, so the next one is an album that defines a genre. So you know what? I'm a hip-hop head, yeah, and you don't get no other LP that defines a genre than this. Wild Style, yeah? So this is a soundtrack from a film that came out in 1982. This is the ultimate, definitive film when it comes to hip-hop culture, yeah? Now, the film itself, it came out in 1982, right? And the acting that you see in the film, yeah, it's not going to inspire any Oscars, yeah, I'll tell you that, yeah. But when it comes to the four elements of like hip-hop, yeah, which is like the b-boying, the DJing, the rapping and the graffiti, you see all of that in this film. You've got graffiti artists in the film, you've got breakdancers, the b-boys, shall I say, such as Rocksteady Crew in the film. You've got DJs such as Grand Wizard Theodore, Grand Mixer DST, now known as DXT, yeah, Tony Tone and Charlie Chase. Rappers you've got as well as the Cold Crush Brothers, Little Rodney C and Kevy Rockwell, just to name a few. Oh, I can't forget as DJs, Grandmaster Flash as well. I can't forget him as well. A seminal scene where he's in a kitchen and he's got 3 turntables and he's like mixing some stuff up, yeah. So also, when it comes to like the music on this, yeah, the music was created by Chris Stein from Blondie, yeah. So this is an album, this defines hip-hop genre. And like I said, if you want to see the film and you want to learn a little something about hip-hop culture, you watch this film, Wild Style, an LP that defines a genre. Okay, right. So the next one would be best band from my home country. Right, okay. So being a hip-hop head, yeah, I could have gone for the late, great MC Duke, because he's from Forest Gate, which is not far from where I grew up. In fact, I went to school around there, yeah. I could have gone for Overlord X, who's from Hackney, and I lived in Hackney in my teen years, right? But you know what? I went for something a little bit more deeper than that, yeah? Small Faces, yeah? And this group is from my hometown, from East London, yeah? And if you look, Ronnie Lane, he was born in Plaistow, East London, where I was born many years ago myself, yeah. Now listen, this album, yeah, it's not just about Sha-La-La-La Lee as well, yeah. They had another hit on there, What You Gonna Do About It, but this is like rock, blues, nice little funky edge to this as well, man. Like, I'm not saying that East Londoners do it better, man, but listen, this album, yeah, has got it going on. So they've done many a good tracks, yeah, over the years, yeah, but Small Faces, that is the group from my home country, from my hometown, East London. There we go, yeah? Okay, so the next one is an artist that I miss dearly. So you know what, yeah? So I thought I'll throw a little bit of a curveball on this, yeah? Because, yes, there's many a musician or artist that I miss, yeah? I could have picked the late, great Biz Markie, who passed away a few years ago, yeah? Or I could have picked True Guy the Dove from De La Soul, yeah? But you know what? I thought I'd go for a comedian this time, yeah? Richard Pryor. Forget about the name, yeah, right? But listen, Richard Pryor, he left us way too soon, yeah? When it comes to like his comedic skills, yeah, and how he used to like talk about things, yeah, he was a trendsetter for so many comedians, yeah, that came out after him, yeah. Without him, there won't be no Chris Rock, no Eddie Murphy, no Bernie Mac, yeah, just to say a few, no Kevin Hart, yeah, just to say a few, yeah. And I'll tell you what, yeah, with all the madness that's going on in this world, I'd love to know what he would make of this, yeah. But I'll tell you what, man, Richard Pryor, as an artist, yeah, now, as a comedian, he was, you know, he was second to none, I think, yeah. But when it comes to his acting skills as well, like, he was a good actor as well. Quite underrated, man, you know what I mean? So, like, Richard Pryor, that is an artist that I miss dearly. That's that one, yeah? Okay. So, the next one is Best Live Album. Easy. Hands down. Bill Withers, live at Carnegie Hall. Yeah? This album, man, this album is a gem. A diamond in the rough, because a lot of people I don't think really knows too much about this. Like, don't sleep on Bill Withers, man, and think it's all about Lovely Day and Lean on Me, yeah? I think he's fairly underrated, man, when it comes to, like, singer-songwriters, man. Like, he had a beautiful voice, yeah? And he wrote some beautiful songs as well. Now, this album here, right, it's got a 9-minute version of Use Me on here, yeah? Like, it's beautiful. Like, he's playing, then he stops, then he starts back again, man. But this is a beautiful live album, man. I mean, I've got quite a few live albums, but this is, I'll say, my favourite live album. Bill Withers, live at Carnegie Hall. Yeah? Okay. So, the next one is, yeah, Your Partner Has Dumped You. What's the record you're going to play? Now listen, yeah, I'll be honest with you. I ain't going to be a jolly bunny if my missus calls it a day, man, and gives me the P45, yeah? But I tell you this, yeah, I ain't going to be moping around, man, and listening to like all them tunes like Crying Over You. Later for that, man. I'll tell you the stuff that I'm going to put on, man. Ghetto Boys. This is the one that I will put on, yeah? And for anyone who knows this album, yeah, it's a bit raw, a bit rough around the edges, man, and there's a few tracks on here, man, that will just tell me, you know what, man? Get your boots on, put your big boy pants on, man, and step out and just get back amongst it, yeah? You know what I mean? Because life goes on, yeah? So I'm going to be listening to this, yeah? Rest in peace, yeah, to DJ Rennie Red and to Bushwick Bill, yeah? But big shout out to Willie D as well, yeah? Because he's got his own YouTube channel as well, man. He interviews people and he talks about a lot of social issues as well. So big up to him as well, man. And big up to Scarface, man, you know what I mean? Yeah? But like, listen, man, this is the album, yeah? Because like I say, man, I ain't gonna be sitting around, man, with all that, never gonna change my love for you. None of that, man. Later for that, Holmes, man. Ghetto Boys. That's the tune. That's the LP I'm listening to, man. If my missus dumps me, yeah? That's the one, right? Okay, right. So next one, yeah? Best sounding drums on the LP. Man. Fire Eater by Rusty Bryant, yeah? Now, Rusty Bryant, a saxophonist. This is on the Prestige label, yeah. I've got many other albums of this guy, yeah. He had a very long, accomplished career, this guy did, yeah. But listen, the title track on this, yeah, right, it's just like 10 minutes of like jazzy filth. That's all I call it, man. Like, it's just some high tempo. It's got some horn in there, yeah. Bundles of Hammond organ, man. I love a bit of Hammond organ, yeah. And there's like this 2-minute break, yeah. Drum break, drum solo, yeah. Idris Muhammad, yeah. Now, if you don't know about Idris Muhammad, Black Rhythm Revolution, he's done so much stuff, man. And it's like, he does the drums on this LP, yeah. And it's like, he smashes the skins up, man. So, best drums on an LP, without a shadow of a doubt, Fire Eater, Rusty Bryant, man. Yeah. Okay. Right, then, so the next one is favourite artist that was a member of 2 or more groups, yeah? So, yeah, it's a bit of a hip-hop one, yeah, I've had to go for. So DJ Premier, okay? So, one half a Gangstar, rest in peace to Guru, yeah? And from Prime, with Royce the 5'9", yeah? So, there's 2 albums that come out under Prime. There's quite a few albums that come out under Gangstar. But listen, man, DJ Premier, man, that's the one. That's the album. Those are the albums. That's the artist of 2 or more groups, man. An accomplished DJ, producer. You don't know about DJ Premier? Go and Google him, man. Check him out, yeah? Okay, right, so the next one is Beatles or Stones. Now listen, I'm going to be honest with you, yeah. I don't have many records by this group, yeah. I shout out my man Kevin King, yeah, right. I lent him. I had on 7-inch painted black. He borrowed it off me, man, years ago. I ain't seen it since. It's all right, man. It's love, yeah, right. But listen, when it comes to the both of them, yeah, like I only have a couple of bits from either group, yeah. But when it comes to the both of them, if I have to choose, without a shadow of a doubt, man, it's got to be Rolling Stones, man, without a shadow of a doubt, man. Like, not only just because of their catalogue of work for obvious reasons, yeah, but when it comes to their sound, I just prefer their sound a whole lot more, yeah. Now, I'm not saying that Beatles ain't a great group, because they've done a lot of good songs, man, and a lot of good LPs, yeah, right? But when you want that raw, rock, bluesy, I like to call it funky, you know what I mean? Like that kind of feeling, man, that makes you like, that sound that like turns your face up like this. Rolling Stones gives you that, man. That's what this is, man. And this album here, Aftermath, man, Mother's Little Helper, Out of Time, and Under My Thumb, just to say a few of the tracks on this album, man. So, Stones, that's the group, yeah? Okay, right. So, you find a bag of weed. What do you put on? Right, okay, so I'm going to say a little story about this one. So, okay, so one of my friends, yeah, he passed away 10 years ago, yeah, well, he was my eldest brother's friend, yeah. His name's Michael Vitale, yeah, right? And he's a man that, like, introduced me or opened my eyes up to a lot of music, or shall I say, opened my ears up to a lot of music. Now, we used to have many nights, like, say, myself and my eldest brother, because he was actually my eldest brother's friend, yeah. We used to have many a nights, yeah, in the early 90s, or in the 90s, shall I say, right, where we'd go around his house. He used to live in Mile End at the time. We used to go around to his place and we would smoke and we would, like, listen to all sorts of music. Now, I credit him, yeah, for, like, turning me on to a lot of, like, music, yeah, a lot of jazz, a lot of soul, a lot of reggae, and especially jazz fusion. He even turned me on to, like, artists such as, like, Pink Floyd and The Who. Do you know what I mean? Like, real deep stuff of theirs, yeah? So I'm going to give an honorary mention to 2 albums that when I think of him and I think of smoking weed, I think of him, yeah? So the first one I'll go with is Art Ensemble of Chicago, The Stances of Sophie. The track on here that makes me think of him is Theme de Yo-Yo, yeah? So there's this album, and also Lonnie Smith, Aphrodisia, yeah? these are the tracks that I think of when I think of Michael, yeah, right? And when I think of like smoking weed. Now, I don't smoke weed now. I haven't smoked a joint for over 6 years, and I hope to keep it that way, yeah? But like, when it comes to like back in the days, smoking weed, man, I was like American Express, man. Didn't leave home without it. Have weed, will travel. That's how I used to be, man. That's how I used to roll. No pun intended. But like now, I don't do that kind of stuff. So, when it comes to that, I have to tell you that, man. So, listen, big up to my brother Gary for that. Well, big up to the Vital family as well, yeah. All right? Okay, so the next one is an album from the 80s I still listen to. Hip-hop again. Just Ice. Back to the old school, right? Now, let me tell you a little something, yeah? Now, Back to the Old School was produced by Curtis Mantronic. Mantronic, who was one part of the group Mantronics. Mantronics came out in the early 80s, yeah? Now, Mantronics, when they first come out, it was Curtis Mantronic, and he had the rapper MCT with him. But Curtis Mantronic himself is a credible producer, yeah? Right? Obviously, he made a big commercial name for himself with Got to Have Your Love in like 1990. But when it comes to his production of like hip-hop music, yeah, his production stands the test of time. Like, you can play this album or play any production of Curtis Mantronic, and it still sounds so good. It sounds well produced, yeah, right? And if you compare it to a lot of hip-hop albums from back in the 80s, even though they were constructed well, with the samples and put together well, the sound quality of them just doesn't stand the test of time. Trust me, you try it, yeah? Now, this album itself, yeah, this album is a banger. I would still play, like, I play out fairly, well, I have a regular thing that I play out with, yeah? That I play out, and I bring this album with me every now and then, yeah? Like, Cold Getting Done, when that track came out in 1986, that sent the whole world crazy, man, you know what I mean? And, but put the record on, back to the old school, but one of my favourite tracks on this album is Turbocharged, yeah? So listen, this is an album from the 80s I still bump right now, man. Back to the Old School by Just Ice, alright? Okay, so, the next one is, yeah, an artist whose politics has soured you. So, okay, so we're not talking politics as in like Tory, Labour, Republican, Democrat. I'm talking more about some comments that this person made in relation to allegations that was made about another person, yeah? I don't want to go too much into the allegations, but I'm just going to hold it up like this. KRS-One, yeah? Now, KRS-One is one of my 5 gods of the microphone, yeah? I'll tell you more about that in a future episode, yeah? But he made some comments, yeah, in relation to some allegations that was made about a particular person some years ago, yeah? And the comments he's made, I don't think were cool, you know what I mean? And the sad thing is that as an artist, he's a great artist, you know what I mean? Like, he's done a lot of great records, yeah? He's got a long career that spans starting in the mid-80s, yeah? But just the stuff that he says doesn't really sit well with me, you know what I mean? But this album, Return of the Boom Bap, is a great album, and you know, he come out originally from Boogie Down Productions with him and the late great Scott La Rock, but still, this is an artist whose politics has soured me. KRS-One, okay? Right, okay, so show your favourite record label. It's got to be hip hop again, man. Def Jam Records, yeah? Now, this is actually my sealed copy of I Need a Beat by LL Cool J, and this is the first ever release on Def Jam Records. If my mind serves me correctly, the first 7 or 9 releases on Def Jam Records were all on this maroon and silver before they went to black and silver, yeah? But this label, it's not just a label that put out good artists, yeah, but they contributed so much to the hip-hop scene, yeah, to like hip-hop culture. So they had seminal artists such as LL Cool J on there, also had Public Enemy, And of course the Beastie Boys were on there. Beastie Boys' first album, License to Ill, came out on this label, yeah. Def Jam Records was owned by Russell Simmons, who is the brother of Joseph Simmons, who is Run from Run DMC, or now known as Reverend Run, yeah. And also Rick Rubin, who's a big producer in himself as well, yeah. He's gone on to do so much stuff, yeah, since then, yeah. That's who I owned and created Def Jam Records, yeah. So this is just not just a label, yeah, but it tells a story of a culture, I personally think, yeah. And like when you think, yeah, of License to Ill, Beastie Boys, yeah, like, you know, we all, if you were around in the 80s, we all know what Beastie Boys done in the 80s and the controversy they caused. And the same with Public Enemy as well, yeah. So License to Ill, that's the one, man. Def Jam Records, that's a label that I love, yeah, my favourite label, all right? Okay, right, a run of 3 great singles, right, okay, listen, hip-hop again, yeah, so Ultramagnetic MCs, yeah, so they had an album called Critical Beatdown, but before the album came out, you had Ego Tripping, yeah, you had that. After that came out Travelling at the Speed of Thought, came after that. And then last but not least, and this is before their album came out, yeah, you had Funky. That came out as well, yeah, right? And Ultramagnetic MCs, yeah, right now, let me tell you something about Ultramagnetic MCs themselves, yeah, that like, when it comes to their music, when it came to their rhyme style, they were a little bit more advanced than what artists were of that time, yeah? And you know, the annoying thing about when the album come out, now, I got the album as a Christmas present in 1988, right? And I still play that record. I play that record out with me whenever I go out and DJ, yeah? And I'll play that record out. But when the album came out, I didn't have all of those 12-inch singles, yeah? But the album came out and it had Ego Tripping and Funky on there and Travelling at the Speed of Thought. But it's not the versions that you get on the 12-inch single, yeah? So it means you have to go out and buy it, yeah? And also, there's tracks on those 12-inch singles that you ain't going to find on the album, yeah? Well, I think they've done some reissues since then where they've added them as bonus tracks. Do you know what I mean? Just as a nod, yeah? I want to shout the B-side, yeah, of this track. Mentally Mad, yeah? That's a banging track as well, man. But a run of 3 great singles, Ultramagnetic MCs, Ego Tripping, Travelling at the Speed of Thought, and Funky, yeah? Okay, so the next one is a record store day purchase I still listen to, right? So last year, right, I was out with my partner and my daughter and my granddaughter in Brighton, and funnily enough, it was record store day. Now, I don't really go for record store day too much. I don't really go out of my way. I've bought a few things here and there over the years. But I was walking past the shop, Resident Records, I thought, let me see what's going on, record store day. And I knew that there was a couple of things that were coming out, yeah, right? So, this is a record that I still play, yeah. This 7-inch here is called Mississippi Mud, and it's by Smithsonian, yeah. A slow tempo, funky kind of track with some nice mellow vocals on it, yeah. The B-side is an instrumental song with a bit of piano called Just Sitting, yeah. Like I say, I don't buy many records over the years, yeah, over like the years for record store day, but every now and then I do. But you know what, yeah, I've got to say this, yeah, you'll laugh at this, and only people of my age will remember it, right? I actually bought, that same day, a copy of music from the children's programme, Mr. Ben, and you know what, the only reason I bought that, yeah, is because one, it was my favourite children's programme, and number 2, bit of nostalgia, man, you know what I mean? I don't think I'm ever going to be playing out with it. But anyway, I'm just geeking out, right? Okay, right, so, you could be reincarnated as any artist. Who would you be? Right, so I've always had dreams of being a rap artist. Well, I used to have those dreams, yeah? And maybe one day I might fulfil those dreams, yeah? But when I was deep in it, when I first started writing rhymes in the mid-80s and everything, when I was deep into it, the person that really influenced me and the person who I still love up to this day when it comes to rhyming Cool G Rap, yeah? That's him there. Rest in peace to DJ Polo. But listen, Cool G Rap, when it comes to his rhyme skills, his flow, his cadence, wordplay, can't mess with him, man. Now, when I say about the five gods of the microphone, he sits on top of that tree without a shadow of a doubt for me, yeah? And even though there's other people that's in that like little ball, that's in that area as well, to me, he's my favourite of all time. Do you know what I mean? And this album itself as well, yeah, this is his second album, right? It's got tracks on there like Streets of New York, Wanted Dead or Alive, the title track, Cool Is Back, and other tracks on there that I'm not going to mention, man. But if there was ever an MC that I wanted to be like, and I'd love to be, if I ever died, it'll be this man, Cool G Rap. You know, another funny quirk about him is that both him and myself, we share the same birthday, but he's 3 years older than me. So I leave it at that, right? Okay. If you want to work it out and send me a present on my birthday, feel free, all right? Joking. Okay, right? So, best 3 lines from a song. Yep, it's going to be hip-hop again, right? So, I'm going to go for this track, yeah? It's Welcome to the Terror Dome by Public Enemy, right? And let me tell you the lines that they are, yeah? So, the lines are, crucifixion ain't no fiction, so-called chosen, frozen, apology made to whoever pleases, still they got me like Jesus. So let me explain what he means by that, yeah? So what it was that Welcome to the Terror Dome came out in 1990, and it was written as sort of like a riposte to the media and a lot of critics towards Public Enemy, because what had happened was one of the members of their group, one of the founding members of their group, Professor Griff, he had to leave the group because of some comments that he made. And because of that, Public Enemy was still getting a lot of criticism from all media outlets as such, yeah? So the meaning of those 3 lines, yeah, crucifixion ain't no fiction, yeah, so-called chosen, frozen, apology made to whoever pleases, still you got me like Jesus. What they're basically saying is like, you know what, I'm saying sorry, didn't mean to cause any offence, we've made these changes, but you're still crucifying us, you're still putting us down, you know? And Chuck D, let me just say something about Chuck D. He's another one of my 5 gods, yeah? That man don't rhyme for the sake of riddling, yeah? And I know he says it in a particular song, but it's the truth. That man's wordplay, that man is deep, yeah? When it comes to like, the words that he says, yeah? Like, you listen to Rebel Without a Pause, you know what I mean? And just any of these songs, his wordplay, what he says, and how he says it, is a little bit more above the average MC. Do you know what I'm saying? So listen, man, welcome to the Terror Dome, man. That's where my favourite 3 lines come from, you know? So, okay, so the next record, yeah, penultimate question, yeah, is an album you never get tired of. Okay. In the Jungle Groove by James Brown. Now, this is one of them albums, yeah, that like, when I'm playing out, I always bring this. It never leaves my bag, yeah. It stays in the bag. Like, I never leave home without this record if I'm playing out, right? I don't care what function I'm playing, because if I put on tracks, yeah, like Soul Power, Talking Loud, Say It Nothing, or the banging Give It Up or Turn It Loose, yeah, you're going to be dancing, yeah? I don't care who you are, you're going to be dancing, yeah? This album, it's not just those tracks. I've Got to Move and Funky Drummer as well on there, just to name another couple, man. Hot Pants as well. You can't go. This album, this is a compilation album. This album, yeah, like, this album is banging. I've got a lot of James Brown albums, man, and it's like, you can't go wrong with this, man. I never get tired of listening to this album. I never get tired of playing this album, yeah. Playing out this album and seeing people rock and shock to this, man. So that's an album that I still listen to. In the Jungle Groove, James Brown, yeah? Rest in peace, James Brown, the late, great James Brown, yeah? So, the last one is, name a couple people in the vinyl community whose channels you are subscribed to. So, I will say, so the people that I am subscribed to, yeah? So, first off, I'll shout out Noble Records, yeah, Dylan from Noble Records, yeah. I've been subscribed to him for a few years, man, and I'll tell you what, man, one day I'm going to get some money, I'm going to come to North Carolina and I'm going to come to his shop, man, and I'm going to like go and like dig and see what he's got, man. Like, I'll tell you what, I love the way he gets down. He's got mad records, man. His shop, I'm sure, has got crazy heat, yeah? And I'll tell you what, you need to check out his videos that he does where he's purchased a load of records from a radio station called The Sound of America. You've got over 70 years of heat he's gone through, man, like jazz, library records, soul, and rock. Check out his videos, man. Like, you look at him, man, and for me, I'm looking at it and I'm just thinking, like, I don't like you, man. I really don't like you. Because he's just got bad heat. I mean that with love, you know what I mean? I don't hate no one, right? So, Noble Records, yeah, that's one, yeah. 6-inch Pianist 319. I'm subscribed to him. Brummy fella. And, yeah, man, he's got a lot of reggae, man, like, and yeah, I love his style, man, so that's one, man. And last but not least, yeah, is the Vinyl Hunters, yeah, and you know what, yeah, I like the dynamic between them, yeah, so it's a young guy and an older fella. I'm not sure if the older fella is the young guy's grandfather. If I'm wrong, please correct me, I do apologise, yeah, but I just love the way that them two work together, yeah, and they go round to record fairs, record shops, and, you know, they're digging for stuff that, not saying necessarily like floats my boat, but it's kind of a bit of an education for me as well. And like a lot of like folk and psych stuff. The older fella, he's a big fan of Oasis. And I know that the young fella, man, he's like banging to his Vertigo Swirl originals, man. You know what I mean? So that's another like channel that I follow, Vinyl Hunters, yeah? So you know what, man? That's my vinyl tag for 2025. Please put some comments, man, and let me know what you think, yeah? And of course, click like, subscribe, get down with the crew of conversations with man like Martin G. So until next time, I'm saying peace and one love. See ya!